to Varsity News on the Newfane Sports Network. And our school year is winding down. Graduation is soon coming. And our guest today is a three-sport athlete, not only a three-sport athlete, but the class of 2023 Valedictorian. Emma Hoffer, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
For sure. Now, we've had some highly achieving student athletes on here, but never the valedictorian. So I'm sure that's something you've worked extremely hard for throughout your career. What does it mean to you to finally be named the class valedictorian?
It's a huge honor, not an honor that very many people get to achieve. Ever since rankings came out in middle school, I knew I wanted to work towards being the valedictorian. So achieving my long-term goal has proven to myself that I can reach the goals that I set for myself.
Congratulations on that. Well,
Thank you.
Like we said earlier, a three-sport athlete, but you also played club volleyball. So I'm sure there was times where it became a little bit overwhelming for you. How do you handle those situations?
A lot of good time management skills and a lot of dedication to school and sports. When it would get very overwhelming, I would make a checklist, putting the things that needed to be done first at the top and work my way down and cross things off as they were completed to make myself feel better.
Mm-hmm. So those three sports were?
Volleyball, basketball, and softball.
Yeah, and of those three, which was your favorite?
Volleyball.
Volleyball. Now a first team all-league in volleyball. And so ever since what grade were you on the varsity team?
I got pulled up as a freshman.
As a freshman. So, and watching the team over the last couple of years, the team's getting better and better and better, and then in your junior year and your senior year, you're knocking on the doorstep of fighting for a league championship. So take us through that process of being a young freshman on the team to like the senior captain and the transition the team made.
So when I was a freshman, we weren't a good cohesive team. There was a lot of issues and drama. Sophomore year, it was better. But then once I got to my junior year, we had a core group of girls that had been playing together for a while. And volleyball, they say, is the ultimate team sport. So once you get your cohesive unit, you start to play better. And it really showed in our junior and senior seasons.
So for every year, did you play the same position?
I did, yes.
And what position is that?
The libero.
The libero. Now, there's a lot to do, right?
Yeah.
Explain to our viewers out there what you've got to do when you're out on the court.
So the libero is basically the back row player that wears the opposite color jersey as the rest of the team. I wore pink. There's a lot of specific rules the libero has to follow that are different than the other players. Like, I cannot cross the 10-foot line. I have to only play in back row rotations. And there's just a lot of little nitpicky things that come with being the libero. But it's basically like being the goalie of a soccer team or a hockey team. You're the primary defensive player.
It's a good analogy. And for young players out there coming to our games and watching you and seeing you in that pink jersey, what would you tell them as skills to practice to get better and play that position?
Honestly, libero has to be pretty decent at everything all around, but especially passing in the direction and spot you want the ball to go. For me, it was passing the ball to my setter, and the setter would then set the ball to a hitter. And then if a pass can't make it to the setter, the whole rhythm kind of falls apart. So it's very crucial to have good passing.
And you've played in a lot of events, 4 years of volleyball, basketball, and baseball. So can you just share with us one of your favorite memories from putting the Panther uniform on?
One of my favorites is from volleyball when we would do shaving cream fights after senior nights. The first year we did it in the locker room, which was not a very wise decision. But after that, we started going outside. It's very messy, very fun, and it brings the whole team together.
Yeah, you mentioned that a lot of people really get focused on the wins and losses, but over the years of being with different teammates, it always seems like when you graduate, the seniors are always talking about those type of moments that they look back on and they just really cherish.
Yeah.
So we're going to kind of transition to your college decision now. It's obviously a big decision, a process that you has spent a lot of time on. So just kind of take us through, the top college choices, and then what's your college process of, nitpicking down the college for yourself.
I only applied to 4 colleges, and all for a direct entry physician assistant program, where I would be able to get both a bachelor's and master's degree in a shortened period of time, typically around 5 years compared to a traditional 7. You had to interview to get into all of these schools in November or so, and they're very competitive since there's only about 30 schools in the whole country that offer the program. So I applied to 4, I got into 3 for the physician assistant program, which was pretty incredible considering they have single-digit acceptance rates. And I ended up picking DU University in Buffalo.
Awesome. That was going to be my next choice. Was that your number 1 choice?
It was, yes.
Awesome. So really now we're here. It's almost June, and it's just kind of pretty much awards ceremonies and celebrations left. So the graduation speech. How does one prepare for that?
I'm definitely going to have to do a lot of practice runs. I've never done something at that capacity, speaking in front of 1,000 people or so. I've done, the morning announcements this past year, and I ran the NHS induction ceremony this past week, which nice little stepping stones to get me there, but doesn't really equate to 1,000 people.
Nothing's going to prepare.
In the bleachers.
Well, it's been a wonderful 4 years, seeing you compete and then having you in class. I knew, you were one of our top students, and we just couldn't wait to get you on the show. So thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.